Hello, moms and dads, and happy holidays. Now, I personally know that the money we invest in our children's private school tuition can be expensive. Wouldn't it be great if we could write that off on our taxes? Now, although you cannot write off your children's private school tuition, today I'm going to discuss with you a tax strategy that you can implement with your children that can help offset that high tuition bill on your tax return. Did you know that you can pay each of your children up to $12,950 to be involved in your business? And as long as they don't go over that amount, then they will not have to file that as income or even file a tax return. So if you have children that are 9 to 17, you can have them do things like cleaning in the office, sweeping, shredding paper, filing paper, even answering phones. And you can make sure you pay them on a weekly basis up to $12,950. Now, if you have children that are a bit younger, like mine, are 4 and 2, then what I do is I use them in my marketing. They are the face of one of my companies. And yes, it's because they are so cute, but also because it is a tax strategy. So anytime we do any shooting or photo shoots or put out any marketing with them, I pay them for that. So let's make sure that we discuss some rules and how to keep your records so you can properly implement this easy tax strategy. Okay, so number one is going to be making sure you actually have a business, okay? So even if you're a W-2 worker and you're working from home, if you're not getting paid by a 1099, you will not be able to implement this. However, if you are a W-2 worker, especially if you're a high-earning W-2 worker, you're gonna wanna have some sort of side hustle that you're getting paid from so you can implement not only this tax strategy, but many more. I promise you by doing this, you're gonna gain a lot of tax benefits that will make sure that you're not overpaying on your taxes any longer. If you need assistance with trying to figure out what it is that you can do, contact my office. We can easily do a strategy session with you. We've done it for many of our clients where we can talk through some ideas. Number two, you want to make sure that these are actually your children. Now, I do have some other strategies for grandchildren, for cousins, for mothers, for other family members, but that is not what this is about. So number two is they have to be your children. Number three, you want to make sure that they are actually doing work. We want to be ethical and honest. So if they're coming in, make sure they are sweeping, make sure they are filing, make sure they are answering the phones, make sure they're being the greeter or the host or whatever it is that you can find that is age appropriate for them. And again, if they're younger, you can always use them in a marketing strategy. Number four is not really a requirement for the IRS, but just for safety. Make sure that the work that they are doing is age appropriate. So if you are running a construction site, no, I would not have them on the construction site doing work. That may not be safe. But maybe you can pay them to follow along with you, to be your assistant, to make sure they get you coffee, to make sure they're reminding you of things. And of course, you would want to keep a close eye to them, maybe for ages 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Number five, you're going to want to make sure that you are logging what they are doing and how much you are paying them. So you want to do something like have a logbook and maybe say something like the week of December 20th, so-and-so came in, they did X, Y, and Z, and this is how much I paid them for the week. Number six, you're going to want to make sure that each of your children have a separate bank account because you're going to have to take the steps to actually pay them. So whether that's by check or cash, very documented with cash, or Zelle, then that's okay. But we don't recommend Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. If that's the case, they may receive a 1099 from one of those third-party companies. Number seven, you want to pay them from your business account. If you don't have a business account with a business name on it, it's okay to use a separate personal account, but just make sure that there's only business transactions going through that. So if you have a personal account where you're doing the grocery shopping or paying the bills or, getting your nails done, that's not an account that you would want to use to pay them. You want to make sure that it is very separate, so it's not considered commingling. So let me get you thinking about the bigger picture here, okay? So on average, you might be spending about $13,000, maybe $15,000 per child for them to attend private school, depending on what grade level they're in. So no, we cannot write that off, but here is a strategy that you can use with your children that is gonna give you a write-off of $12,950. So let's just round that off to $13,000. Let's say you have two children that are in school. Both of them have a $15,000 tuition rate. So that leaves you $30,000 of what you're paying to the school. Well, with this tax strategy, if you have two children that are working for you and you're paying them the maximum amount of $12,950, which we're just going to round to $13,000, that is now a tax deduction of $26,000. So now you are able to use that on your tax. Here's another thing to keep in mind. So once you've actually paid your children, the IRS has no restrictions on how they spend it. It's just as though you've paid someone else. It's not the IRS's business on how they spend their paycheck, right? So it's the same thing with the children. So if you are a parent that's always giving your children money, you're buying them the expensive sneakers, the jewelry, they're always going out with their friends to the mall and the movies. They have school projects and extracurricular activities and dances and proms, all of these different things that you're gonna spend money for anyway. But when you do it this way, not only can they spend their own money on it, so whether that is for a school project or the tuition for that high private school, it's the same thing. It just allows you to make these payments to your children and still get a tax benefit. Having your children work in your office is going to teach them some responsibility, and letting them pay for their own things is also going to teach them some really great financial habits at an early age. Learning how to pay for things, learning how to save at an early age. If your tax professional or accountant is not giving you options or discussing tax strategies like this with you, it may be time for you to contact our office, set up a consultation. We'd be happy to have a consultation with you and get you through the onboarding process. My name is Shannon Williams. I am the lead tax strategist with D2R Taxes. Down low, you will have a link to our website where you can review our testimonies and see what our clients have had to say about us. We help entrepreneurs and businesses save on their tax bills so they're not overpaying on their taxes. We also help W-2 earners get the maximum refund legally. So guys, hopefully this helped you. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye and happy holidays.